Hello and welcome everyone. In this video, we will explore more on Pandas DataFrame. We will use a small data to show basic CRUD operations and plotting. Let's import the main libraries. Here we create a string IO buffer to emulate a CSV file for a subset of trail data. We can use Pandas read CSV method to read this data. And then we can use Pandas head method to list the top 5 rows on that data frame. We could use the describe method to generate summary statistics of the numeric data. We could also list the data types, and we could check if the index is unique in this data frame, and we could also see the value counts to see if any value is repeated. We can find the correlation coefficients between the data. We have to set this parameter numeric only equals to true to compute this correlation. Here we can see that miles is correlating negatively with elevation, and it is correlating positively with cumulative column. We could plot our data to gain more insights. We could plot the data using the plot method, and here we could specify the columns that we wish to plot. Here we could see the elevation and the cumulative columns, and the trail number represents the x-axis. We could also plot the miles. As we can see that the distance increases as the trail number increases. We could also plot all 3 columns in one figure. Here we have used a secondary axis for distance, and we could see both elevation and cumulative column along with the distance in miles. In this plot, we see the trail number as numbers. If we want to display the location of the actual trail, we could do so, and for that we use this plotting method where we could specify x as location and y as the columns that we wish to plot. And here it is showing the location. It's skipping one value, but it is showing the correct location name according to the index. We could create another data frame like this. So here we are providing a tuple of values, and we are also providing the column names. And we could use Pandas concat method to concatenate both data frames. Here we can see the row is added, but the index is 0 for this row. We can correct this to 10 using ignore underscore index is equal to true parameter, and this has changed the index value to 10. We can add column to our data frame simply by specifying the column name and assigning the values. We can also add a station column, which would be a Boolean array, and it will check all these location names, and if that location name contains station in it, then it will be set to true. And now if we see, we have a station column which is true for the first location because it has station in it, but false for the second location. We can also delete rows. In this case, if we want to delete rows at index 5 and 9, we could do so using the drop method, and now the indices 5 and 9 are deleted. Similarly, we could delete column using the pop method, and now this column has been removed from the data frame. Let's add this column again, and we could use the del method to delete this column. Let's look at the data frame again, and that column has been removed. But we could also use the drop method to remove this column, and here we need to specify x is equal to 1. Setting x is equal to 1 tells us that this operation should be applied to a column. Now if we look at our data frame, we still see the station because the other two methods are in place methods, so all of the changes are made in place. Here, if we want the data frame to change, we'll have to save the data frame again. This was all that I wanted to share in this video. There is still much more that we will be covering on Pandas data frames in the coming videos. Please keep watching and see you all in the next video.